Hello, everyone. I'm Paul Sprizzi. I'm the programming director for the Mammoth Film Festival, and we're here with Oliver Shahery, the director of Mason, who's joining us from Brooklyn. Hello there.
Hi, how are you?
Thanks for thanks for being a part of this. So let's
Yeah.
talk a little bit about your film. Can you tell us about how you met your characters?
Yeah, so I took a train to Florida actually to shoot a music video. And this artist that I really liked he was like, oh, yeah, I'm looking for some like American traveling circus thing. So I went to Florida and found a traveling circus, and I was there, and it was very repetitive, and I have like a lot of ADD. So after the third night, I was just losing my mind. And so I went to a bar and I heard these people talking about going to this like midnight drag racing event. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna come for sure. And so I went to the midnight drag racing event, and I saw Mason just going down his grandfather's pickup truck on his like toy bike thing and just spinning around doing donuts, laughing, screaming, picking up the bike, which was like basically bigger than him, and then doing it again. And his grandpa was just like, GW was just fixing up their like kind of um, race car. So like it's not like a race car. It's like a hand DIY race car. Um, and instantly, just but through their like dynamic, I would just like, okay, I need to start filming. And I asked GW, I was like, hey, is it cool if I film you guys? He was like, obviously you can film it. Like, what do you like? You're at a drag racing event. I was so nervous. And then um, eventually, like I showed them that footage, and then they invited me um, to their home to continue shooting. And then it just like picked up and snowballed into this short film.
Cool, cool. Well, so I guess the really shocking, very interesting thing about the film to me was just the juxtaposition between this really harsh and questionable ideas about parenting that the grandparents have, but then the sweetness and love that's between them. And it seemed like the point of view of the film is very, very neutral, and it's just kind of observing it without judgment. How did you feel as you were shooting it?
I was also like at times I was a lot of it's very similar to the way that like I was raised kind of, and especially with my grandparents. I remember like, going to my grandparents' house was always like a kind of like lawless land, where there was always like Coca-Cola around. We were never allowed to drink Coke. There was always it was always just like a run around playhouse, and my grandparents were also kind of like much stricter than my parents in some ways, but then also couldn't control us. Um, so I was kind of just like watching them, and then also trying to observe, but also process and find myself in all of them, really. And so while I was there, yeah, it was just about observing and trying to be there as fully as possible while also not like intervening either. Um, so yeah, there was a few situations where I was just like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm here right now.
And how do you think about Mason as a character? Like, what do you think goes through his head, or how's he processing like his whole situation with his family?
Yeah. Um, I don't know. He to me like is so free spirited that like, when I like I was saying, like when I was a kid, I was totally just like running around and throwing rocks at my little brother, and just being a little psycho kid, and in like the best way. And so and I feel like Mason has like an incredibly free spirited energy, and he has these like environments to channel them, because of like the grandparents like backyard, and they're like they have like a little swamp where they have like airboat. There's so many like activities and fun things to do. Um, and Carrie and GW really like play like a huge parenting role in his life, um, as well as his parents. And um, I don't know. I see him like sometimes I see like just like Facebook, their family will refresh. They'll like share a memory from like 8 years ago, and it's like Mason. Or there was one of him. Uh, they literally shared like 2 days ago where there's a air conditioning, and it's like making like the rumble noise, and he's just standing in front of the air conditioning and just going like just mimicking it, and like that to me is like so funny and like something I feel like I would have done also. Yeah.
Cool, cool. Well, tell us, what are you going to be doing next?
I just made another film which will be playing at New York Film Festival, and I just also wrote my first feature. I'm trying to kind of strike like a balance between documentary and fiction, and been also shooting a lot of 16 millimeter documentary films,
Oh,
which
nice.
really changes changes the dynamic of the film a lot and makes it infinitely more stressful, but fun too. So. Uh, I've kind of just been messing around, and I have a lot of fun making like music video documentary things, and I work a little bit in casting also. So just been messing around, trying to
Awesome.
stay as entertained with myself as possible in my small New York apartment.
Yeah, what's your film playing at New York Film Festival?
It's called Wild Bill Horsecock. It's like a very not a family movie, but but it's it's a weird one. It's a weird one. But Mason to me is like the I don't know, in some way I think it will be one of the truest films that I'll ever make. Uh, and I think that their family was so giving and receptive of me, despite like how completely different I looked and how completely different I was. Um, and I remember specifically like at the end, the last night when everything was done, I knew I was finished with the film. Me and GW like finally had like a like some political like whatever conversation, and we just like hugged at the end. We were just like, I can't believe that we clearly have such like different views on things, and yet like it was so easy for us to just spend like a month like together, and how I don't know, it felt really special that that we had like such a close bond, and despite like how different we were, I was like I had the best time. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thanks so much for sharing your work with us and for chatting about it. And good luck with your future endeavors. And we'll
Thank you. I
see
really
you.
appreciate this.
Yeah, yeah. And up next, we're going to watch Feather and Pine.